Hey guys, so welcome to the second episode of hashtag Ask the Legal Queen. So this is where you ask me questions and I will answer maybe half a dozen at the same time. So thank you first of all for the questions that have been left for this week, and I hope that your question is one of the ones that I'm answering today. If not, check out the channel on Discord that we have created, because I do bob in there every day. We have 3 chat rooms: divorce, children and finance, and if you leave a question I will get into there and I will answer them. I managed to catch up with all of the questions there this morning from the last couple of days, and also we've got a podcast, so every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday we have the podcast go live, and that's where you can actually hear me answering questions of people that will ring in and they've got a particular question if they're stuck in the divorce process or they want to get contact with their children. So let's jump into the first question.
I'm separated with wife. It's been 5 years now and I've applied for divorce, submitted the forms. Now it's been almost 18 months and still no response. Please help me.
I know it's taken forever at the moment, and Bury St Edmunds Bury St Edmunds first of all are the main divorce court for England and Wales, so most of the petitions are getting sent through to them. That's what's creating the backlog. Plus we've had the changeover to the no fault divorce, so whilst that's speeding up the new process, it's not helping the old process. Unfortunately there isn't anything I can tell you. We're being told the same thing. I also have a client that's waited nearly a year for her decree nisi. All you can do is keep trying, all you can do is keep emailing and keep writing in. They are still around 16 weeks behind any correspondence that's received. So whilst you may have written 5 times, they may not have even picked up the first email. It's frustrating, but you've just got to keep trying.
I have been coerced into transferring the property over to my ex, but now I understand that I may be entitled to equity from the property. I am not entitled to any benefits due to this property asset, so I'm struggling to afford a solicitor. Please help.
So when you say that your divorce papers have been signed and returned, I take it you mean your divorce petition, not the actual financial order. So until you have the financial order agreed and signed between you, you haven't severed the financial ties. So what that means is that you can still make a claim against that property. Now you say in the question that you've signed it over to him, but you still co-own it with him. It's irrelevant whose name it's in. As a married couple, all marital assets will be included in the financial order. So what you need to do is start to look at getting that financial order so that you can obtain your share of the property.
My husband left me 10 years ago after 34 years of marriage. Our house and all accounts in joint names were shared out equally between us at the time. As there are no marital assets, do we still need a financial disclosure form? Thank you.
So first of all, well done for starting the divorce petition. That's great news, and so glad that I could help there. Even though you have no financial assets between you both, you might want to think about getting a clean break order. Without the clean break order, which is a financial order, you haven't severed the financial ties. So what that means is that later on down the track, if he wants to come back and make a claim against you, or you want to make a claim against him, you still can. So clean break order is appropriate where you have no assets to divide between you.
Will my ex-husband get half of my house in my name if he contributed half? I have a child from a previous relationship. I'm left in debt, and therefore if I have to sell to pay him out, I will be homeless.
So the first thing that I would say is that whilst he is entitled to a share of the matrimonial assets, you both are. Where there's children involved, the court are going to put the housing needs of the child first. So what that means is that if by selling the property to give him his share, and I'm not saying that's 50% by the way, but to give him his share, you're then not able to rehouse the child, the court's probably going to be looking down the measure order route, which means that you can stay in the property until the child's 18 and then potentially look at giving him his share.
My ex moved out of the house and country 5 years ago and has become an Australian citizen. He's refusing to sell me his half of the house or buy me out. Is there anything I can do to force a sale?
So essentially the question you're asking me is around the fact that there's no agreement as to how the finance are going to be split. You've got a house there, you want to sell it, he doesn't want to sell it. So what you now need to do is make a financial application. You do that using the Form A. Court fee for that is £275. As part of those proceedings, the court can order or make an order for sale so that you can actually sell the property and then divide the proceeds between you both and move on.
I have been divorced 5 years now. I have a trust in my name, and if I was to receive any inheritance, could he make a claim for either of these?
Great question, and it comes back all the time to, is there a financial order in place? So essentially, if you've only got your decree absolute and no financial order, then yes, he can come back and make a claim against any assets that are in your name now or in the future. Where there's no assets to be divided, you're looking at obtaining a clean break. Where there are assets to be divided, you're looking at getting a financial order.
I got married in Italy, but me and my ex-wife are living in the UK for the last 12 years. We are both Brazilians and the marriage was recognised in Brazil. We separated 5 years ago. Can I file for a divorce in the UK?
Absolutely. So as long as you've got a marriage certificate, it doesn't really matter where you are married. You can begin your divorce proceedings in England and Wales. You've got to have the marriage certificate and you've got to know where the other person lives, because you've got to be able to prove that they have received a copy of the divorce petition.